Holy cow. What, just a cow? Yeah, this is a redo because I probably should have waited a little bit to process it in my mind. This is a redo of the Rob Reiner video. The old one I'm going to delete and replace it with this. This is sort of my redo. It's sort of like a movie do-over. So I'm redoing the video. Okay. We all know this happened Monday. And so I've been processing this for a couple days. And so I was thinking about it, and I'm going to do this in several parts on this video. Now, of course, Rob Reiner and his wife were stabbed to death in their Los Angeles home or Hollywood home, whatever have you. Now I'm going to get into that, but first let's talk about Rob Reiner. And you know, I was born in '76, so I pretty much grew up on All in the Family, and it was a product of its time. When you're talking memorable characters, what, just a cow? Meathead. You know, you could list the top 10 characters that defied generations. Meathead would be in that list. No question. And I always loved watching All in the Family with Meathead and the arguments he would have with Archie Bunker. That was classic television at its absolute finest. No question about it. I can still go back and watch All in the Family and still be really entertained by it. And Rob was one of those rare talents, very rare. There's not many, you can name on one hand, that were really good actors and became a great writer-director. And Rob had some good stuff, good movies to his credit, like Stand By Me, Misery, A Few Good Men, The Bucket List, When Harry Met Sally. There was The Princess Bride, which I was not a huge fan of, but you know, it's a classic that a lot of people do love, but I was not a fan of it. That's a different story for a different day. And of course, his wife, Michelle, that was actually his second wife. They met on the set of When Harry Met Sally. And they've been married for quite a few years, had several kids together, and what have you. Now, this is where the story gets, what? A little sad. You know, it's hard to process something like this. It really is. It's hard to put it into words as to why it happened. When I was doing my original take of this, I really don't understand this. This doesn't make a lot of sense. And when I first heard this, I thought, well, maybe it's because of Rob Reiner's political views, which were a little outlandish. He did make some big-time bluffs or buffs or whatever one you have, and on his political takes, he was a very, just like, the funny part, his character on Meathead on All in the Family was very outspoken, which really wasn't that far-fetched from Rob. He was really outspoken about his political stance. And in the process of this, I don't want to get too political about this, but I am going to bring this up just in hindsight. Is Trump, the president of course, made some comments about this could be Trump derangement syndrome reason he was killed? I don't think so. And Mick Foley didn't like that WWE stands by Trump, be that as it may. And so he decided to be released from WWE under the Legends contract. I do not think in any way, shape, or form that this was political based. No, I don't see that. I really don't. And The sad part of this, it wasn't random. It wasn't random because their son, Nick, who's going back to his teenage years, he's only 32, has had some drug addiction problems, especially with cocaine. And in researching this, I didn't know this part. There's a lot I didn't know that I'm learning I wish I wouldn't have learned. Is that there was a movie from 2016, not a big budget movie, but a movie nonetheless, that Nick and his dad ironically worked on, talking about Nick's addiction to cocaine and how he would live on the street for weeks at a time. This is bone chilling. It's bone chilling when you think about this, that he ends up murdering his parents because of his drug addiction. It's looking more and more like Nick did this, which is an unfortunate turn of events. And if you're wondering, the name of the movie was Being Charlie. Do I want to watch it? Not really. Not really, because it would be so bone chilling watching that when they're trying to talk about the mental health and the drug addiction. And I read the synopsis or what I read what the movie was about, and that's pretty much what it's about, is Nick's drug addiction and trying to overcome it. And it sounds like he didn't overcome it. It really does. It sounds like he didn't overcome it. And this is really sad when you really think about it. That when I talked about why there are so many mass shootings, and one of the things I did bring up was our lack of mental health that we have in America, or in the world for that matter, for the reasons for so many mass shootings, is because we have a lack of mental health. We really do. And this is a sad, sad case that I'm pretty sure, I said this before, I'm pretty sure this ain't political based. I'm damn certain of it. I'll take that to the bank, no matter what anybody else says. I do not think this was political based. It's just sad. It really, really is. And if he's found guilty, he's not going to get out of prison. He'll be in there for life. I'm not sure if California even has the death law, but he might receive the death penalty. And it's one of those stories that you hear that you really wonder how often this happens. Yeah, you hear about it with famous people, like with Rob Reiner and his wife being murdered in their own home. And then there's the daughter. Yeah. This would be horrific. This would be horrific if she found her parents dead. I can't imagine what she's going through. I can't imagine what the entire rest of the family's going through. It has to be one of the most horrific things I have ever heard. And I can't imagine the amount of emotions they're going through, and it's all over the news. It still is. Nick's being held in jail with pretty much no bond. Well, there's a bond set at $4 million, which is astronomical. And there's going to be there's going to be criminal charges, the whole 9 yards. This story is far, far from over. We're only getting to the start of it. And the thing that's going to be interesting in the next coming weeks, or maybe even the years, or even days, weeks, years, whatever have you, is what led up to this, what led up to this tragedy more than anything else. What possessed Nick, I hate to say he's guilty, but it's looking like it. It's really looking like it, and it's incredibly sad. It's incredibly sad. I mean, I really don't know what else to say. I mean, this is my redo of it. I think I did a lot better with it this time. So I got all the motions of it, first hearing it out of the way. And yes, I will delete that other video. This is my redo of it. And I think it's a lot better than the original one. Because the one thing I forgot to do, I almost feel like it's a sign of disrespect if I don't do it. That's the way I feel about these death videos, which I don't think I do it justice. I really don't. But you know, it's how I'm going to end it because I forgot to do this on the original take. And rest in peace to Rob Reiner and his wife, and may the family find justice, and may they find peace eventually, because this was one of the most horrific things to come out of Hollywood in quite a few years. It's one of the most horrific stories I've heard in quite a while. Probably the last time I've heard of a story this horrific was Chris Benoit, the double murder, suicide, and all that. You know what? Rest in peace to Rob. Rest in peace to his wife, Michelle. And may the family find peace in the coming weeks, months, and years.